Fantastic. I wanted to say fab. I'm going to also say fab and fantastic. And they have all these great things. They've got, um, recipes, and I don't think you can see it here, but they've got flashcards, etc. Really great stuff. So the most obvious use of a Google slide is for presentations. So this is very simple, just a little presentation that I did on Google Slides. You can download it. I'm a Mac user, so if I download this, I can, do it as Keynote, PowerPoint, whatever. And the presentation is just to present vocabulary. But what's really great is that if you can download these and you do 6, I say 6, print as PDF 6, you've got pairs then, and you've got all these pair games. So you can do Go Fish, you can do concentration, you can do all kinds of card games, which is great. And you can use this for a few more things, and we'll go back and talk about it in a minute. So there we go. We got card games, instant card games, bingo. So I made some Google Slide bingo games. And really what you see, the little markers there, they move, they can be movable, right? So you put anything on the background and then you just make things that are movable. And so you can share these, make it editable for everybody that's in your class, and they can play. But what I really want to say, and I think the most realistic use of this here, is to take a piece of paper and just make a grid. And whatever words you're doing, they make their own grid. And so back to that presentation, you can put that presentation, put it up in a grid view, and then students can use those as sort of a word bank for bingo. And you can do this with grammar, you can do this with whatever you want. And then you have an instant game. And I want to give credit to someone called Martina Becks, and she's on Instagram. She's fantastic. She has Comprehensible Classroom. Got that simple idea from her, just a piece of paper, and you got instant bingo that you would do with your Google Slides. And this works really great if you're teaching remotely. I really love to do calendar activities all the way through the intermediate level, really, until we get up to the upper intermediate. Basically, it's just a couple minute routine. We talk about, what's the day, what day was yesterday, what's the season, et cetera, et cetera. And it just helps build those basic concepts. If you're teaching beginners, they'll get it down. You can skip over that in your textbook. If you're teaching people that are more advanced, then it's a great review. And so daily routine type things on a Google slide, chat, anything that you want to chat with your students about, you can do that too. Pear Deck. So this is just an add-on, and it's a great way to present. You just basically take a slide set and you add questions, but a lot of people are sharing, which is great, because that's a gold mine for a busy teacher and a busy learner. Another use for Google Slides here is basic dialogues and communicative tasks. So really, I would take whatever we're working on, and I would put in slides of situations, and I would then have students write those things and perform them, those dialogues. So this is obviously, at an airport, that would be the situation. And, maybe we would have other students doing other things. This also works as a great stimulus for something that you want to learn, right? So what would I need to be able to know to be able to pull off this task this is Japanese, of course. What would I be able to do? What would I have to be able to do? Recorded presentations. So back to what we talked about earlier, those slides serving as input. You can take anything and record it. And just a few quick ways to do that. Take a slide, and there's an add-on called Fishbowl, Fish, B-O-L-E, and you put whatever it is on the slide and you can record it. So one activity that I really like to do, I got from Benny Lewis, I'll mention him again. It's called a tour of my house. And it doesn't have to be their house. It can be anything. You can take slides and put pictures on them and then talk about them. Another thing that you can do with these recorded presentations is, as you're learning to speak or your students are learning to speak, have them bullet point some things out to talk about and then talk in the slide, right? Record the slide. So when I say bullet points, it really depends on your level and what you want to practice. I really like to record myself once a week or so, and I have my students do it too, but I give them a lot of structure in doing this because they need that at first anyway. And I'll say, okay, here's the things that you want to, you want to talk about. So as a learner, I might say, okay, here are the 10 things I want to practice, and I would just record myself. And what's great is once you've recorded it, then these serve as documentation of your progress, right? And you can make really quick progress fast, and it's really rewarding. So we talked about a tour of my house. Oftentimes I have my students just do something on their phone. If they want to, they can show me their house and talk about it. But if you don't want anyone to see your house, then there you go. You can do your dream house. You can do 5 slides of your dream house and talk about it. And it doesn't have to just be house. It could be your wardrobe. It could be your dream trip. It can be anything that's connected to what you want to talk about. It's a fantastic skill builder. I love making collaborative videos. With Google Slides, you can invite as many people to be collaborative, and everybody has to make a slide. So some of the ones that I've done that kids have really enjoyed have been talking about emotions. And everybody does, like a silly face, or they find a meme, or they do something and they make a slide and they write on it. And then I get to edit it, and then I record it, and then you download it as, say, PowerPoint or Keynote, you record it and export it as a movie, and then everybody gets to watch the movie. It's really quite fun. And there's so many different ways that you can do this. You can do, something more advanced. So you could have a video where, everybody has added something on a slide, some picture of themselves when they were younger, or at another place in the world, or some character that they've made up. Really, I mean, the possibilities are endless, and they're really fun. Everyone likes